Thanks for joining me on this wild one. Brad Bird waited nearly 30 years to make this film. Laika's attempting the hardest thing they've ever built, and $1 billion studio made a movie about having no budget. These are the animated films I'm actually excited about right now. And the stories behind them is the real reason. I'm Kim, and this is the Remember K.A.T.E Breakdown. I've spent 20 years in animation, so I can't help it. I'm interested in how a film got made as much as I am in the film itself. And this year, the how is genuinely good. If you appreciate this sort of content, let me know by gently just tapping that like button. All right, let's get into it. First up, the one I've been waiting on the longest, Ray Gunn. This is Brad Bird's film, the man who made the Iron Giant, the amazing The Incredibles, and Ratatouille. He's been trying to make this one for a better part of 30 years. It's a retro sci-fi noir. Think the Maltese Falcon crossed with Buck Rogers. About the last human detective in a city called Metropia, with Sam Rockwell, Scarlett Johansson and Tom Waits lending their voices. And here's the part that fascinates me as a craftsman. For decades, Brad's wanted this hand-drawn, traditional 2D, but a film at this scale, drawn by hand, was reportedly going to cost north of $150 million. And that just became the sticking point that kept it from getting made. The version we're actually getting is computer animated. The dream didn't die, but the medium had to change to get it across the line. And there's one more twist. It's heading to Netflix. Netflix recently handed a premium IMAX cinema slot to a live-action film instead of Ray Gunn, even though their animated titles are some of the most watched things on the entire platform, which raises a question I find generally interesting. Does Netflix actually see animation as something worth putting on the big screen? We're about to find out. Next, one I have to mention, but I'll keep it short because I've already made a whole video on it. Coyote vs. Acme. The quick version: Warner Brothers finished this film and shelved it as a tax write-off. The public revolted and a small distributor swooped in and rescued it. Finally hits the cinemas in August. And the story of how it survived is one of the strangest in modern animation. If you want the full saga, check out. I'll stick a link somewhere. Follow that. For now, just know it's coming out in the near future. And you don't want to miss it. Quick one before the back half. If you've enjoyed this so far, do me the huge favour of just hitting that like button. Helps out a small channel more than you'd realise. Alright, not going to hold you up. Let's get back to it. Now for one that made me laugh when I read the premise. Minions and monsters. Yes, it's another Minions film, and yes, that franchise has made over $1 billion. But look at what it's actually about. It's set in the 1920s Hollywood, and the plot is two minions trying to make their own monster movie. Except they have no real monsters and no special effects budget. So they go hunting for real ones. Sit with the irony of that for a second. One of the most commercially powerful animation franchises on Earth made a film about scrappy filmmakers with no money trying to fake a production. I'm curious whether it actually has something to say about making movies or it just uses the setup for gags. Either way, go check it out. And I saved this one for last on purpose because it might be the most beautiful thing on the list. Wildwood. It's the next film from Laika, the stop-motion studio behind Coraline and Kubo and the Two Strings. The story follows a teenager named Brew, whose baby brother is carried off by a murder of crows into the enchanted wilderness on the edge of Portland, and her journey in to get him back. But here's what gets me. Stop motion is the most patient, most physical craft in all of animation. Every frame is a human being moving a puppet by hand, by a millimetre, 12 times for a single second a frame. And the director, Travis Knight, has said the battle sequences in this one are the single most difficult thing the studio's ever attempted. Think about that. A studio that's already made the hardest kind of animation there is, deliberately reaching for something harder. That's the opposite of the no-budget shortcuts. That's craft for the love of it. The teaser alone's already been watched something like 89 million times. I can't wait for this one. And so that's 4. Ray Gunn, Coyote vs. Acme, Minions and Monsters, and Wildwood. 4 films, 4 completely different stories behind the way they came to exist. A 30-year dream, a film nearly deleted, a no-budget joke, and the hardest puppet shoot ever attempted. If there's one I've missed and you're excited about, tell me in the comments. I generally want to know. And if you want that full Coyote vs. Acme breakdown, it's right here. Links will be there somewhere. I'll see you in the next one. Keep animating that entertains.